What's going on today, guys? My name is ManglerFan26, and today I'm going to give you a tour of my game room. So without further ado, let's get started. I'll start up here. This is my first shelf. Up here we've got some game boxes. We've got my big box Mario Kart Wii set, my Atari joysticks in the box, my Nintendo Entertainment System box, my Atari 2600 box, a Ford Thunderbird scale model, and some original Xbox games. And then underneath that, we've got my PS2 collection. There's quite a few good games in here. Need for Speed Most Wanted, that's my personal favorite. We've got GTA Vice City and San Andreas. We've got some PS1 games back there. And then this here is my sealed copy of Cars for PS2, which I got at a flea market for $5, as you can see. And then moving down here, we have my Nintendo Wii collection. There's a few good ones in here too. There's Brawl right there, Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, Metroid Other M, that one sucks. Xenoblade Chronicles, I don't know how that game's going to be now with the definitive edition coming out on the Switch, but we'll see. Kirby's Epic Yarn down there, that's another one of my favorites. Monster Truck Madness, just a loose game that had these cheap sleeve style cases, a loose disc. And then here's my copy of Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. And then over here you've got my original Xbox controller S and my Halo Green original Xbox. And then this here is just a bunch of random games that I got from GameStop when I ordered them. I was expecting them to have the case, but sadly they didn't, so that kind of sucks. And then moving down here, we've got my Nintendo GameCube collection. Now this is, like a lot of other collections, it's quite a bit smaller than part of my other collections, but there's still some good ones. Need for Speed Underground 2, Kirby Air Ride, and then I have Melee, but it's got the generic GameStop case, but there's the disc right there actually. And then if we look down here, these are my NES games, Wizards and Warriors, Ikari Warriors, Gotta Have Mario and Duck Hunt, Commando, and Excitebike. And then over here is a whole stack of stuff. This here is my PS1 Mini. I got this at a flea market, but I realized the power cable, it kind of broke off and is stuck in it. Then you've got this Mario Kart Wii guidebook that my dad found in a junk car. Then you've got my Sega Genesis, some Game Informer magazines, my PlayStation 1, and one of my NES systems. Sadly, this one doesn't work. It got the blinking red light. I got it repaired, but it still doesn't work. And then down here are the consoles I currently don't have hooked up. I've got two GameCubes. This one works, this one doesn't. I've got the Super Nintendo, my Nintendo 64, my Sega Dreamcast, and down there you can see a copy of Halo 2 that I got from GameStop. And then to the right of this shelf we've got this bin right here. It's got my Nintendo 64 games as well as some of my PlayStation 1 games. And then on these nightstand drawers we've got some miscellaneous cords and wires and stuff. Then down here in the bottom drawer, let me just get it open, there's one of my Angry Birds plushies and more random stuff. Moving on from that, let's go over here. We've just got some more miscellaneous stuff. Here's my copy of NFL 2K2 for the Sega Dreamcast. And then the rest here is some miscellaneous DVDs. Eventually I'm going to make a dedicated section for movies on DVD and VHS and stuff like that. But for now this does it because I don't have that much. I've got Knight Rider, Fast and Furious 6, a few homemade DVDs I made, a copy of Sonic Rivals for PSV, don't know why that's there, the BBC Blue Planet set, and Friday the 13th Uncut Edition. I believe that's the 2009 remake. And then moving over here, we've got my Wii U collection. It's got Wind Waker HD, Xenoblade X, Tekken, Smash for Wii U, Mario Maker, New Super Mario Ryu U, and Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. I like all these games, but now majority of them either are ported to the Switch or have a better sequel for the Switch, Smash for Wii U especially. And then moving on from that, we have my Xbox 360 games. So we've got the Gears of War Steelbook, Final Fantasy 13, the Orange Box, Halo Reach, Fallout 3, Unreal Tournament, Mass Effect 2. They're all pretty good. And then we just have this on this side. It's my Inside is normally my copy of Resident Evil Survivor for the Sega Dreamcast, but it's still inside my console at the moment. And we got, well, first off, we've got this custom designed Prisoner of War Missing in Action flag that I got off of Amazon. It's a beautiful flag. I used to fly it on my truck, but it got a bit too frayed, especially around this grommet over here, so I hung it up. And then we got the wall of boxes. First we've got boxes for my sister's iPad and my own. Then we've got my box copy of Donkey Kong Country for Super Nintendo. Then these two are just some random PC games that I got at Goodwill. I don't actually have a good gaming PC to play these, but they were like $3 a piece, so I said, what the heck, why not? And then we've got my Mario Monopoly Collector's Edition. I got this for my birthday, although I haven't opened it yet. We've got my Nintendo Switch box, this gamer sign right here, and then behind that is the Wii box. Alright, so this is one of my setups. First we got the Atari 2600. I was last playing Berserk on it. As you can see, it's a really fun game. And I was using the Sega Genesis controller to play it just because the Atari controllers, or at least mine, the joystick doesn't want to go down, so that's fun. And then we've got the PlayStation 2. I was last playing some Need for Speed Underground 2 on this. Really fun game. PS2 is my favorite console of all time still. And then we've got my Nintendo Wii. I was playing a lot of WiiWare on this recently. And all three of these are hooked up to this, my Emerson CRT TV. It also has a DVD and a VHS player built in case I want to watch either one of those. But this thing is a beast. And to keep them all hooked up, I've got that video splitter tucked back there, and the Atari goes in through the cable port. And as you can see, this setup sits on a dresser. Let me show you what I've got inside. This drawer up here is where I keep all the wires for the consoles I don't have hooked up currently. As you can see, it's a lot. Well, the one below that, we keep the controllers, of course. And then these three drawers here are just miscellaneous junk that isn't related to the game room. But in here, we got other miscellaneous junk, cables, chargers, controllers. And then there's one of my iPads and my old Wii U gamepad in there somewhere too. And then we've got my second shelf over here. There's my copy of SOCOM 2 US Navy SEALs for PS2, although it's missing the headset. We got Wii Sports Resort. We've got MW3, Black Ops 2, and Ghost, the Hardened editions. WWA 2K18 15 Years edition. Then we've got God of War and Sonic 2 for Sega Genesis. And then we've got the box for my original Xbox. Here's a little F-150 scale model car, and the rock for my Kratos figure, because he likes to keep falling off. He's actually right there, looking half drunk. Moving on from that, these are some of my amiibos. We've got Captain Falcon, Mr. Game & Watch, Cloud, and Dr. Mario. And then behind this fish tank here, I used to keep a beta fish in there. We've got my PSP collection, although it's hard to see. Then we've got my Sure Shot Zapper for the Wii, although it's really just a piece of plastic. And then we've got this, an Earthbound photo transfer I made in high school a few years ago. Moving down from that, we've got a whole bunch of stuff here. First off, as you can see, I've got some scale model cars in here because I'm a huge car guy, and you'll see this kind of stuff scattered around. Then we've got the rest of my amiibos. We've got Duck Hunt, Pit, King Dedede, both of the Robs, Ganondorf, and Pichu. And then, as you can see, we've got two Wii Remote boxes, my Nintendo Switch Pro Controller box, my Nintendo Switch Pink and Green Joy-Con box, and the box for my aftermarket Switch script. I really, really, really like that. And then below that is just a bunch of stuff for school. So this setup here is a bit funny. Normally I have a 32-inch smart TV here, but I lent that off to my sister, so I'm going to get another one eventually. This TV works, but I'm not going to play on it because if I'm sitting from right there, it's just way too small for me to see. So, at some point, I'm going to get a bigger TV. So this is what it looks like with the bigger TV there. This is where I normally play PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Wii U. But since it doesn't have the bigger TV, it's currently out of commission. But I'll show you what I got around it still. Let's take a look. Down here is my Wii U, the gamepad, and my silver PS2 Slim. None of these are currently hooked up. Then moving up, we've got my Xbox One games and my PS4 games, both of which are currently hooked up to my TV downstairs. then as you can see, I got 2 parts for my Rob the Robot over here. I got a really good deal on him on the Facebook Marketplace. He works and he is pretty cool. And then up here we've got my PS3 collection. I love the PS3, and I've played a lot of these games. Although unfortunately, one PS3 I have is on its way out, and the other, which I'll show you in a minute, is already dead. And then here's my purple GBA, although sadly this one doesn't work too good. Then I've just got 2 random DS games. And then over here is my most prized possession. It's my golden Nintendo 64. I got a good deal on this too. This controller over here was signed by James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd. And then sitting with it, you have my red God of War PSP. Moving to the right of that, we have my Atari 2600 collection. As you can see, I've got the basic games. It's pretty fun to play. Then I've got my copy of Sonic Generations for 3DS and my Wii U gamepad charger. I also forgot to mention behind this TV, there's even more PS3 games. And then moving up top here, this is one of my 2 Wiis. You saw the other was hooked up over there. The thing is with that one that's hooked up, I use it to play WiiWare because the disk drive is shot, it doesn't read anything. This one does, but it doesn't have any of the WiiWare on it. Eventually, I'm going to get an SD card and just transfer all my titles over to this one, and then put the other one back here. Over here is my original fat PS3. I bought it at a flea market and sadly got the yellow light as soon as I hooked it up. So that sucks, but I'm going to get a new one eventually, but not a fat one though, probably slim. And then over here is my very first game console ever. This is my PlayStation 2 from my childhood. As you can see, this thing is every kind of dead, but I still like to keep it for nostalgia. And then up here we've got my Ricky Bobby Talladega Nights diecast car, alongside my Paul Walker Fast and Furious Toyota Supra diecast. Then we've got my Vin Diesel Dodge Charger diecast, and my Paul Walker Nissan Skyline diecast. And then we've got a PSP charger back there. Over here we've got my box of Mario cereal, which I got probably about 2 years ago now, but I still haven't opened it. Got my Fire Mario plush, my Cabela's Dangerous Hunt set, my Sega Genesis box, this Zeus console thing. I've never even heard of it before, but I saw it at a flea market, so I got it because why not? And then the box for my Turtle Beach Recon 50X headset. And then on the wall up here, I have some Ford brochures that I decided to hang up for decoration. And then on the bed, sometimes I just have stuff that I just got or am currently working on. Over here is my Nintendo Switch. I've got a lot of good stuff on this. I'll show you real quick. I've got Smash Ultimate, I've got the NES and Super NES Online, Mario Kart, Super Kirby Clash, Breath of the Wild, Your Essentials. And then this is the new NES system I got. This one works, I had it hooked up, I just gotta figure out where to put it for now. And last but not least, in my bedroom, which is right next to the game room, we've got my Xbox 360 Slim hooked up to my TV. There's my Turtle Beach PX3s over there. And other than that, it's just my NASCAR diecast collection. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the tour of my game room. If you have any suggestions as to what I should do, please let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you later.